The greatest season of life is back, and I'm not talking about when you're an adult who can successfully provide for themselves with, little to no stress. And some of you may feel like you'll never get there. Just keep at it. Hopefully you will. But no, I'm talking about the greatest season in college football is back. And I just feel like we waited so long. Actually, it just feels much longer for Michigan fans. Okay, you guys know over here I bleed maize and blue till the day I die, and it just felt really long because Blake Corum got injured and then he came back, and it wasn't the same. And now he's healthy, and I'm so excited just to have that young man back in the backfield. So, college football officially kicked off, which means I started my Saturday with college game day. Because what else do you start your Saturday with outside of working out? But yeah, college game day back. It's time for the rivalries, the traditions, and these stakes are extremely high, especially for Georgia, who is looking to make history. And do I think they can do it? I would not bet against that, but my Wolverines hope to have something to say about that. We're ranked number 2, and we want it all. We've been so close. We want it all. And we have JJ McCarthy with as much confidence as we've ever seen him under center. He is so poised in the pocket. Like, listen, I walk around like I wish I had that level of calm no matter what, because JJ stays in the pocket. He's calm, he's relaxed, he goes through the reads and the progressions, and he's connecting with our receivers. Roman, rocking number 1. It feels justified. Like already after week 1, it feels justified. Now we know with a lot of the Power 5 schools, they don't necessarily play like these top tier matchups the very first game out of the gate, but it's still a test, and we're not going to bring up the past for Michigan, but it is certainly still a test, and it's a chance for us to make sure that we're going through everything as we should. We are dominating in certain areas we should. Like our offensive line and defensive line, we have NFL ready guys, so we should be dominating, like hands down, we should be. So we were doing what we needed to do there. The tandem backfield doing really well, so I was happy with what I saw, even though no matter what, when I'm watching Michigan games, like I am yelling at them a lot. We didn't have Harbaugh. We don't have him for 3 games based on a damn cheeseburger. Like, okay. I understand that had to be self-imposed, but like I was just expecting the NCAA was probably going to go ahead and like suspend him over a cheeseburger. Just, okay. Wow. Long as we're number 1, we're 1-0 out of the gate. That's what matters for me. So we took care of business. A lot of other teams did. Let's talk about the game, though. We know the performances that have just taken over this weekend. That's Colorado. How many people definitely just didn't give two shits about them before Deion came into the mix and him leaving Jacksonville State? Like, if you paid any attention to a lot of the noise going around, there was a lot of controversy about his decision to recruit so many 4 and 5 stars out of high school to this HBCU when they could have gone to other programs. And too often people will downplay, they will really just disrespect and not give any credence to what these athletes are doing at HBCUs. And I would also throw that on these networks and in the NCAA for not actually televising them more, because you don't know what you don't see and you're not exposed to. And I'm pretty sure they would have just more, right? The more eyes they would have on them, the more respect, the more notoriety, and the more people would be able to see, like, there are some amazing athletes playing within all of these institutions. And I would welcome that more. I think it's awesome. My godparents went to HBC. Actually, they went to Jacksonville State, and then my mom at one point went to Tuskegee. So I just think that would be awesome. And what we're seeing right now, right? The headlines of, oh, Shedeur Sanders is just amazing. Like, we never knew. Well, those of you that actually work in sports, you probably should have known, because he was still doing the amazing things then that he's done now. It was just on a much bigger stage against TCU, the runner-up for the national championship last year, and they lost to Georgia. Don't get me wrong, they got spanked by Georgia, but they still proved they belonged there last year. So to me, TCU had everything to lose just in terms of expectations as a team that was right there last year. But Deion, everything was on the line just in terms of pride and the perspective and the narrative of which they painted him. Like, yeah, he had to come and show up, but if you know anything about primetime, he's ready to do that. The drop of a hat. Now, fun fact about me, yes, I'm a Colts fan now. I grew up a Cowboys fan. Now, you are probably not expecting that. I think I've said this before in a video. I had Deion Sanders. Listen, I had the jersey, I had the shoes, I had the starter Cowboys coat, I had a locker, like literally a full stand-up locker in my bedroom. For Halloween, remember you could get like the NFL like outfits for Halloween? Yeah, I had the helmet, the pads, jersey, pants. I asked for a football. Actually, for one Christmas. Yeah, that's how deep it went. Okay, I was all in on the Cowboys, Aikman, Emmett, all that. I was all in on that. So to see him be everything that like I grew up seeing him high step and be the center of attention, he's doing that now. But you know what? He is backing it up, and I don't think we can discount the fact that it's too many people in this world. They're not happy to see a very proud black man. Listen, he backs up his talk, and his athlete certainly did that too. So his son was phenomenal. 510 yards. 500. Yeah. I mean, when you were watching that game, it was just like, TCU, are you going to stop him? Now, let me be clear. Even though they had they have a prolific three-headed monster in his son, Sanders, but also in the man that stole the show, I think, across. Like, I'm pretty sure Travis Hunter is being searched more than anything else, right? Because he is a two-way player. He's playing on offense and he's playing on defense. Who has the energy for that? Now, I know that in 1996, Deion also did that with the Cowboys, but I just... Listen... It's a lot, okay? It's a lot. And he's making plays on both sides of the ball. So does he keep this up, this endurance throughout the entire season? Or does he instead, become more dominant as a cornerback because he's really great, but he had a lot of great receptions? Who knows? I just know as a football fan, like, I'm happy to see Travis Hunter thrive. So they will play, I believe, Nebraska next week. So we're all really looking forward to that. But I also think there's another star player there. And I'm not saying he fully got overshadowed, but just because everybody was screaming Sanders and Hunter, I think people also forgot about Edwards, I believe is his name. And, he scored quite a few touchdowns in this game against TCU. Now, I will say this. Neither team played defense. Neither team. There's no way you come out the gate with 42, like 45. No, none of you played defense. So let's work on that. That's something I think they absolutely have to do. If you want to get to the highest level, TCU, this is also why you got beat, because you couldn't stop Georgia from scoring. You can score with the greats. Can you stop them from scoring? That is something that Colorado, I think, absolutely has to work on, but they have an entire season, and I think it's bad, though. Like, Deion isn't a bad guy, but you have so many people that are just hoping it plays out. Like, the script is written that they just fail, and, like, this is their only win of the season because they were 1-11 last year. I would love to see them go undefeated leading up to that USC game. I just think that would be primetime football, and listen, for me, I will watch tons of college matchups before I'll turn on any random NFL matchup or even NBA, to be very honest with you. Like, college is just different. There's a different aura about it. It's a different energy, and I love it. So outside of that, let's just run down a few other scores, I guess, that really just kind of caught my attention. Oklahoma, why did you subject everybody to this mauling, okay? You made everyone that viewed this like an accomplice to assault and battery. Did Arkansas State know that they were playing a game? And, I think men should definitely, express their emotions. I think that's healthy. I don't think enough men feel comfortable in doing that. I don't. However, I don't know if a football game is the time in which you, maybe should be shedding tears unless, you've won or... I mean, I know people cry when they lose, but, you were crying because you're just, the ego was totally hurt. I don't know where you... I guess up is the only way you can go, going 0-73. The score was 0-73. Okay, Oklahoma, just no mercy there. Ole Miss didn't have much for Mercer. I just think maybe people expect a little bit more out of Arkansas State. IU, I was pulling for you. My niece goes there now. I was pulling for you just to maybe pull an upset when it came to Ohio State. Just couldn't do that for us now. Could you? Every single time I try to cheer for somebody against Ohio State, it's a letdown. We will just have to take care of things ourselves. Georgia and UT Martin, this is exactly what we expected. So the games went about as you thought they would go. Outside North Carolina and South Carolina, the Battle of the Carolinas, okay? The border brawl, that's not what they call it. They call it Duke's Mayo Classic. Whatever, border brawl in terms of Carolinas. I thought South Carolina would come out with the win. They did not. So I guess you can't just call that school in Chapel Hill a basketball school anymore. I mean, not at least until next year, because they held their own. So we have Duke and Clemson on Monday, the actual holiday, which, again, we have a whole weekend and the holiday of college football. What more can you want? What more? They're giving us everything that we could want. Also, I'm also very excited. Tonight, technically when I'm filming this, I have no idea when I'll get this out, but Florida and LSU plays. I'm excited about that just because, again, a 5 and an 8, the fact that we're getting these kind of matchups already is amazing. It really is. So sound off your team below. If it's OSU, I don't have anything to say to you respectfully. I'm looking forward to this entire season. Please do not take a single Saturday for granted because they are special. They are sacred. We don't get a lot of them. So please make sure you're locked in. This is a random video because I know most of the time I'm just talking about sneakers, but if you know me, then yeah, Michigan football is just everything. And once we get Harbaugh back, it's definitely time to turn it up even more. So, in JJ, we trust. Thank you for tuning in. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.